This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you are the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Welcome to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe, such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kadojo.
Welcome back, Acolytes, Adepts, to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kadojo.
Hello there.
And we are back bringing you part 2 of 3 of Saw Gerrera's history and story. Because, my gosh, does Saw Gerrera get up in a lot of trouble throughout his time through, the Clone Wars, Galactic Civil War, the Age of the Empire.
Well, no. He was never in the Galactic Civil War.
He had not directly, but he was during that time.
Technically, the Galactic Civil War started with the Battle of Yavin.
True.
And he literally died, spoiler alert, by the way, died
for a movie that came out almost a decade ago, or if not a decade ago.
24 to 48 hours before the battle.
Fair point. Okay, I give you that. But, anyway, we're diving in to his part of the story with when the Age of the Empire. So the Empire is now a thing. It just happened overnight, took over the Republic. The Republic becomes the Empire because somehow that works overnight.
The first ever Galactic Empire.
That was not bad, not gonna lie. That wasn't bad. So, following the Republic's transformation into the Galactic Empire, Saw Gerrera's militia was branded as an insurgency by the Galactic Empire due to their resistance against the proclamation of the New Order. Despite their role in liberating Onderon during the Clone Wars and their position as allies to the Republic, believing the Empire's existence to pose a threat to all that they had fought for during the Clone Wars, Gerrera and his militia began pushing back against the Empire, drawing the attention of Admiral Wolof Tarkin. As in Admiral Tarkin that we all know and love and possibly not like, depending on your view of Tarkin.
Although I think he preferred Governor Tarkin.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
In response, Tarkin deployed Experimental Clone Force 99 to deal with Gerrera's faction, though also as a test of Clone Force 99's loyalty.
Yeah, so Saw Gerrera, he lost his sister. His stability, his rock, his foundation. Stella, his sister, is gone.
Yep.
This will start a downward path trend with Saw Gerrera, and you start slowly seeing you'll start
seeing this. Now, this obviously this is happening during Bad Batch season 1. This is the first couple episodes of Bad Batch, not gonna lie. So upon arriving and seeing Gerrera's group, the squad refused to execute their orders, save for Crosshair, who insisted on fulfilling the mission. Which, if you watch Bad Batch, you'll understand why Crosshair went against his other clones.
Yeah,
It's
he was the only
because
one surgically altered
well,
to
that, but like
enforce
he
the
was the
loyalty
only
chip.
the chip actually worked in him. Like it was like half working.
Yeah, well, it was partially working. Then he went in for surgery, and
Mm-hmm.
then it was in full effect.
Right.
And he was
Compared
the only
to
one
the rest
who
of the
was,
clone force
yeah.
that Order 66, like they were like, what the hell was Order 66? We don't know what the hell this is. Where Crosshair is like, oh, I need to kill Jedi. I need to kill everything. So Gerrera and his men apprehended the squad of clones, but soon released them, giving Hunter, the squad's leader, a chance to pick a side. Gerrera then left with his militia, leaving the squad of clones alone. Later, a new squadron led by Crosshair, who had left Clone Force 99 due to their defection from the Empire, arrived and finished the mission to eliminate Saul and his militia. However, Saul was already gone, and the only ones left were some militia members and some civilians. All were killed, including the elite squad trooper ES-01, who refused to eliminate the civilians, which had been seen as treason by Crosshairs. Yeah. This not a good start. Not a good start.
No.
So yeah, it's this was dark. The Bad Batch just is a dark series. Let alone it is animated, but it's none of it's good. So now, one of Gerrera's earliest operations against the Empire took place in the Imperial Summit held on Eridu. Thank you for that. In the facility known as Raven's Peak, Governor Tarkin headed a table of 5 highly ranked officers, including Dr. Royce Hemlock. Gerrera led a small infiltration team into the facility disguised as stormtroopers with the intention of completely destroying the base. Armed with the remote explosives, the team stealthily littered the lower levels with them. When they were almost finished, Gerrera ran into another group of intruders, Clone Force 99.
I would love to point out the secrecy of this meeting was non-existent. You got two separate
groups infiltrating this place to take this place down. Yeah,
it's like that Spider-Man meme where got pointing at each other. It's like, wait a second, what are you doing here?
Right? Wait a minute, you're here for this? Wait, you're here for this too? Whoa!
We're here to blow it up. We're here to get information and rescue a person.
So Gerrera explained the plan to his clones, and to which Hunter protested, as they had a separate goal to track Hemlock to the location of imprisoned clone troopers. Despite logical counter-arguments made by Tech, Gerrera insisted it needed to be done for the greater good. Before the two groups' conversation could conclude, a security team interrupted, forcing them to part ways. With the Imperials alerted at their presence, Gerrera, under the order his comrades to retreat to an escape shuttle, although they had failed to place detonators in the command center.
Yeah, and this shows Saw Gerrera putting his own goals before anyone else's.
Yeah, he could care less. He like, this place is going to get destroyed. I'm destroying it. He's a single track minded person. Yeah. So most of his team fought their way to the shuttle and off-world, at which point Gerrera promptly detonated the explosives. While the explosion destroyed the hangar and much of the interior, the command tower was left undamaged. Unbeknownst to Gerrera, it was caused a power outage to the facility's sky rail, which Clone Force 99 was using to escape. Ultimately, due to Gerrera's actions, Hemlock's tracked the shuttle, which was destroyed, and spoiler for Bad Batch Season 2, that's your spoiler warning. Tech was forced to sacrifice himself to allow his companions to escape.
Yeah, this was a sad one. Everyone was hoping, I want to say Season 2, that they would bring him back as one of those mysterious clone operators that they had going around. It's like, no, they're just random clones they altered. Tech was dead.
Yeah, it's sad. Gerrera fought against the Imperial military and reorganized the Onderon resistance into a group he dubbed the Partisans. Around 18 BBY, he hired a Lasat mercenary and fought an Imperial squad under ISB Agent Callus. When they were sent to Onderon to bring peace, the mercenary and other allied partisans killed Callus's entire unit, saved Callus himself. Gerrera ultimately came to think Onderon was lost and thus retreated from his own homeworld, however. So this is obviously during Rebels.
Okay. Well, was it?
I believe.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm just trying to figure out when.
It's during that timeline, anyway.
Yeah.
Not specifically in Rebels.
I think it might be more towards
comics.
Well, not comics. Clone Force, closer to that specific timeline.
Oh,
rather
yeah,
than Rebels.
Well, you're right. Rebels
takes
5
place
BBY.
like 15 years later.
It's what, 5 BBY or 6 BBY?
It starts 6 BBY. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So, sometime before 17 BBY, Gerrera joined an arms smuggling ring led by Haz Obit. The smugglers were delivered arms to resistant fighters in the Salent system. However, the smuggling ring was the brainchild of Orson Krennic. You heard that right. Krennic, who is, you might know from Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Krennic was using small uprisings as an excuse to take control of the planet's heavily and resources needed to build the Death Star. Obet had revealed his information to the smuggler partners, and they decided to double-cross the Empire. When they arrived at Salent, it became clear the Empire was expecting to arrest Obet and the other mercenaries. Gerrera convinced Obet to stay and fight the Empire. The people of Salent system eventually lost the battle, and Obet was captured and later released by Wolof Tarkin. However, Gerrera was able to escape.
Yeah, Krennic, he's the one who says, "What are you doing standing around? Deploy." Oh no, are we blind? Deploy the garrison.
Right.
That was a great line.
He's or him getting force choked by Darth Vader because he was a complete moron in some points. So
he was egotistical.
That was great. That was Darth Vader. This was the best version of Darth Vader, in my opinion, next to Obi-Wan's version of Darth Vader, which obviously is it's freaking Hayden Christensen under the mask, which is amazing. But the version the Darth Vader in Rogue One, they used the red tinted eyelens for his helmet, and it looked so good.
Yeah.
So good.
This is probably the most powerful Vader's been since he's been quote unquote converted to his cybernetics.
And next to Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan he just wrecked everything he saw.
Oh yeah, but from when he turned cybernetics to Rogue One, he kind of went into a bit of a lull because there's really no real challenge for him.
Correct.
And even the Inquisition, it's like, I don't have to worry about these guys at all.
I can crush them with one hand behind my back.
At some point, Vader got his shit together and then went back up in power.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So Gerrera, back on point here.
Right, I know.
Gerrera started doing smuggling operations. He basically needed money. As any rebel cell needs is money for supplies, ammunition, food, fuel.
So moving on. So in 17 BBY, Obit came into contact with Jyn Erso. Erso wanted to have her husband Galen to quit working with Krennic, and the only way to do so was for the family to flee Coruscant. Obit who had known the Ersos since Jyn's birth, knew Krennic would expect him to help the Ersos, so he asked Gerrera to go into his stead. Gerrera smuggled Lyra, Galen, and Jyn Erso off Coruscant and helped them set up a homestead on Lamu. The Ersos stayed vigilant while living on Lamu, forming an escape plan in case Krennic found them. The plan was for Lyra and Jyn Erso to hide in a shelter dug under the cave and to contact Gerrera for extraction.
Yeah, that
which,
plan didn't go quite as
no,
according.
which we'll go over
In
here
a
in
little bit.
a little bit, but
After the
yeah,
break.
it doesn't go well. Um, and then you might everybody if you played Jedi
Survivor?
Fallen Order, sorry,
4.
Fallen Order, you might know this part of Gerrera's. So sometime later in 14 BBY, Gerrera and several of his partisans traveled to Kashyyyk. There he used a DH-16 blaster pistol. The partisans discovered that one of the Empire's refineries was using Warsher tree sap to make a powerful compound. Following that, they met Jedi Padawan Cal Kestis, who they asked for help in the attempts to free the Wookiees. And by the way, this mission's great, especially when you get to Kashyyyk, because Cal just straight up jumps out of the Mantis, and what's the pilot's name?
Greaves?
Grief.
Greaves, I think.
Oh, he makes the joke. Oh, he thinks this is the Clone Wars. He thinks we're all back in the Clone Wars. It's like, yes, yes, it is. It practically never ended. So, yes, he thinks this is the Clone Wars because that's how he was trained. So, in return for Kestis' assistance to attack in the attack on Kashyyyk, the partisans agreed to search for the Wookiee chieftain Tarful, who could aid Kestis in searching for a Jedi holocron with the names of several Force-sensitive children. After the takeover of the refinery, Gerrera made a speech to encourage the flame of rebellion against the Empire and offered Kestis a place among the partisans, saying that it would be nice to have a Jedi fighting at his side. And Gerrera also he's made alliances with Jedi in the past.
Yeah.
Obviously, through the Clone Wars, he was helped trained by Jedi to fight droids. So
Ahsoka, Anakin, Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm. And then he also, he had dealings with that later in life. You will see him dealing with not just Cal Kestis, but other Jedi. Getting closer to the Rebellion era.
Oh, yeah.
So, Kestis felt honored by the offer, but refused because he could not abandon his mission. Gerrera said the offer continued before it leaves. After finding Tarful in the Shadowlands, the partisans became overwhelmed by the Imperial forces, and majorly were forced to retreat before Kestis returned to Kashyyyk. Those who remained on Kashyyyk did so in Gerrera's disdain.
Yeah, and this it kind of shows Gerrera's willingness to leave people behind and sacrifice them, in my opinion.
But he doesn't like doing so.
Yeah.
In disdain, he doesn't want to leave his people behind, but his people offer is like, no, we need to help the Wookiees.
Yeah.
Because without the Wookiees, we have no chance against the Empire.
And this also shows Gerrera's willingness to only do short-term gains, hit here, get a victory, pull out before any real substantial change can happen.
Right.
Just sort of like a pinprick in the Empire side.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Gerrera's like, Kodojo, you said this earlier in the show, like, you see, this is a downhill. Like, Gerrera doesn't go... It's not a fun time for him, like, at all. Like, it's just constant loss after loss. So, but with that being said, let's take a quick mid-break, thank our patrons, and we'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Adobe Firefly, the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video generation. Built for today's creative process, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, and the timelines? Woo, yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Learn more at adobe.com/firefly.
Frizz, breakage, or split ends? Meet your match. The K18 Molecular Repair Hair Mask delivers real, lasting repair. Its patented K18 peptide reverses damage on the molecular level, leaving hair soft, strong, and bouncy in just 4 minutes. So that damage that's been stressing you out You'll see it disappear after just one use of the mask. Shop at Sephora or get 10% off your first purchase with code SPOTIFY at K18hair.com.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show. We're talking about everything about the podcast has nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. Here, we want to thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/holocronhistories, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can even leave us reviews and ratings on Apple and Spotify. Leave 5-star review with some words on Apple. We'll read it out loud next time on the show, as well as a nice Spotify comment, which we do have one on our last week's episode of Saw Gerrera Part 1 from Evan B, saying it would be cool to dive into Legends Luke Skywalker, because I feel like they didn't do him justice in canon. Oh boy, is that a loaded question and argument there? But you're completely right. They didn't do Luke justice. Like, even you can even watch interviews with Mark Hamill saying like, this is not the Luke. This isn't my Luke. This is someone else's Luke, when they were doing the sequel stuff. But obviously, he's a paid actor. He has to go by what they tell him to do, regardless if he agrees with it or not. And he's like, this is just a different version of Luke that is not me. So, but yeah, Legends Luke is awesome, by the way.
I wonder how many of the books Mark Hamill read. The Legends.
Yeah, I don't
books.
know. I don't know if he would. I don't know if he might. I don't know if he even read any. So I have no idea. But yeah, thanks for the comment. And you can also find us in a few different Discord servers, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. So go check those out. Go check out those Discords. A lot of great people, a lot of great shows are on those. So
we're having fun in the free company for Final Fantasy.
Yes, that is constantly active, so yes, it's great. And cool news here, they started selling Mara Jade's lightsaber hilt at Galaxy's Edge.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first ever Legends character's lightsaber hilt at Galaxy's Edge.
A Legends character's lightsaber hilt is finally at start. Are we? No, it's too late to make her canon, because she was the love interest for Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I mean, they could always do something in the comics if they wanted to canonize her.
Yeah, but
they can always go that route, but live action, no, probably not.
Yeah, I mean,
unless they do something with the younger version of Luke. They could always go that route if they wanted to, like during like the Mandalorian time period. They could go that route if they really wanted to.
Maybe.
But... Or have her in there as like a character that maybe gets killed off or something. I don't know. But hey, it's still cool. It's still awesome to see that they're kind of branching out and bringing in characters that is very beloved in the Star Wars universe. Now I just want my Revan sabers, both of them. Give me both. Purple and red. Give me both.
I just want KOTOR remake at this point. Just give me that.
Yes, which is, by the way, for everybody, if you're all wondering the news on that, the Saber Interactive did come out literally like this past week saying they are still currently actively developing the game. Everything is still going as planned on their end, so it's just taking time because it did move from developers. It was originally Aspire, and then it was moved to Saber Interactive. So that's why it's taken a lot longer than because it was announced like 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, they're still currently developing it. It's still a current game that's going to be made. So for anybody who's, waiting for that, it's still happening. Thank God. But that's all I have. That's all I can think of news wise. Do you have anything to add, Kodojo, for the mid break?
I don't know if it's news so much as rumors or just someone making a fantasy wish here.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly Natalie Portman might be playing the role as the mother.
Yeah, I feel like that's more of a fan thing rather than an
Yeah.
actual like thing.
Although I do
Because
wish
that would
that
be interesting,
I hope
but I
in
don't
season 2 this is
know.
the main focus, the mother. It would
Oh, for like
explain
Ahsoka,
why. Yeah, it would explain why there are statues of
the
the
Mortis gods.
Mortis gods in one galaxy, but they're in the Star Wars galaxy because they ran and fled from the mother. Because
Yeah,
she
I
is an
mean,
eldritch horror.
yeah, possible. We'll see. I don't know because the mother was, or is it what Legends only, right?
Legends only right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So who knows? We might. They might. They more than likely will dive a lot more into the Mortis gods in season 2 of Ahsoka for sure. So we'll see. I don't know. But let's get back into more of Saw Gerrera.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
If you've ever blasted synth beats from your boombox or burned CDs for your besties, this one's for you. As people get older, much like their music tastes, their health needs change. AG1 is the simple daily health drink designed to deliver over 75 essential daily nutrients and pre- and probiotics to support energy, digestion, and mood, so you can make the most out of every decade and dance break. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
So now we're moving in 1 year later. So in 13 BBY, Saul was tasked with protecting Jyn after Lyra was killed by and Galen was taken by Orson Krennic to continue his work on the Death Star. He rescued Jyn from Lamu and brought her to the planet of Rhea?
Yeah, don't ask me.
Rhea? Let's go with Rhea, where she had an outpost set up and still mostly empty of occupants. He revealed his dislike for droids after Jyn suggested he attained a unit. The day after her arrival, Jyn found a training ground set up with hanging husks of dilapidated droids used for targeting practice by Saul. Jyn was then asked for Saul's help in training to fight.
Yeah, and this is one of the few times you get to see Saw's soft side.
Yes.
And after he rescues Jyn, he takes her to this hideout, and he clears out this solitary room for her, makes it solely hers, and she thinks, oh, he doesn't want to see me, he doesn't want to get me in the way, yada yada. You know, she thinks she's a burden on him. But then later on, it's revealed, no, he gave her an exclusive room to herself because he's going to have a lot of other people in there with them. And It's going to be cramped in that compound, and she has this room to herself. And that shows how much he cares for her at this point.
Agreed. So, on the third day of her stay, she got a chance to practice her hand-to-hand skills on several sets of Stormtrooper armor Saul had put up in her benefit. Gerrera had many partisans, including Reese Talent, a human who Gerrera personally trained, the Tawik Zoshan Hazem, and Idrissa Baruch, who Jyn took a liking to, supplying the fighters with a place to stay, food, although mainly in the form of nutritive milk. The operations for them to undertake. Rhea became a hub of various rebel fighters to visit for various reasons.
Yeah.
So
now, Idrissa Baruch Saw brought in like the second or third day, as it says, to talk to Jyn and bring clothes and other supplies for Jyn and have how to put this, female conversation with Jyn.
Because
Saul
has no idea
clue.
how to take care of a young girl. He had no idea.
A prepubescent girl who might be becoming pubescent in a few years. So
he doesn't know how to
he brought in
handle
help.
that. Yeah. Oh, as he should. So in 10 BBY, Saul allowed Jyn to accompany him when negotiated with Enfree's Nest for coaxium attained from the syndicate Crimson Dawn, which you might know that. Crimson Dawn, it was, in Solo, which they were introduced in Solo. They were in the comics, and, we had an earlier episode talking about the different crime syndicates, which we did talk about Crimson Dawn, and they did recently come back in Star Wars Outlaws. So, there's that too. In 9 BBY, Saul received military information stolen from the Empire by Cal Kestis, who had maintained liaison with Saul since he first met on Kashyyyk. So
Really?
that would be Jedi Survivor. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That would be Jedi Survivor. And then in 6 BBY, Saul and several other members of the Partisans were hired by Arene Ordia to go to Inusagi to infiltrate Saluka Bloom Festival and kill Governor Kor Tofervane. He and his partisans massacred the festival, killing Imperials, the Insugagi chiefess, guests, and many Insugagi civilians to send a message to the Empire.
This was
this
in the
just
book.
Became a massacre.
Yeah, this was in Rogue One Catalyst.
Okay, so
they infiltrated and
book.
they essentially sent out confetti metal shards out, and I'm pretty sure Jyn came along with the mission, but was told to go back to the ship once the massacre was right about to start. She didn't. She stayed and watched, and this slightly scared her.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why. It's a bunch of people dying, so. So then, as Jyn matured and as Saul became increasingly paranoid over time, he came to fear that Jyn would eventually be recognized as the daughter of a known Imperial collaborator and less exploited to use as ransom against Galen. To help prevent this, Saul tortured partisans to assess if they knew of Jyn's identity, even disposing of Jari at an unknown Imperial barracks due to the same reason. With the constant worry of others finding out Jyn's identity, Saul decided when Jyn was 16 to abandon her in a bunker with nothing more than a knife and a blaster for protection.
Yeah, this was a bit of a sad thing. He told her to wait in this bunker. I'll come back in the morning. Never came back. And this was, I think, a live fire testing range too, that he told her to wait in.
Right.
And Jyn became somewhat of a confidant for Saw as well, because he was getting to a debate back at the base with someone else. He says he makes up this title, or not title, but this scenario of, rebels cause massacre at blah, blah, blah. And then about 10 seconds later, all of a sudden, a news article comes up with that exact same, rebels massacre at blah, blah, blah. And it says, well, this was Jyn's work, Jyn Erso's work. And she says, this looks so real. Imagine what Imperials could do, with this information. And he had a little bit of a pride in Jyn for illustrating that point.
Right. So he had instructed her to wait in the bunker until morning, by which time Saul was gone. He came to justify the decision by telling himself, and later her, that she was already one of his best people, that he knew she could survive without his aid. The decision was seen as a betrayal by Jyn, left a feeling of disenchantment for Saul, and for the rebellion in general in her mind. Which, I mean, I don't blame her at all for, feeling that way, because getting left behind by the person who was taking care of you after your mother was killed and your father was taken prisoner.
Father figure. Stepfather, maybe.
Kind of.
Adoptive father.
Adoptive father.
Just abandons you for no rhyme or reason that you know of. He doesn't tell her why at all. He just leaves her.
Yep. So then after the raid on the Imperial garrison on Alhari, and 5 BBY, Luthen Rawl traveled to Gerrera's base on Segamillo and to meet him. Getting down to business, Rawl offered the Freedom Fighter the opportunity to trade several pieces of stolen Imperial technology, including a full set of Imperial drive adapters and 3 sealed Sturgard targeting defectors. After Rawl confirmed that he had items with him, Gerrera asked him to set the price. To set his price.
This is Andor Season 1, by the way.
Yeah.
Go
on.
And you get to see the mad look in Saw Gerrera's face and eyes at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's become fully paranoid by everyone and everything.
Right. So to Gerrera's surprise, Rawl asked that he meet Onto Krieger, a contact who had been probing the Imperial power station at Spelharis. Rawl continued to saying that Krieger had found some weaknesses in the defense, but he had an angle since Krieger was a separatist. Gerrera dismissed Rawl's offer, but Rawl insisted that Gerrera hear Krieger's out. As Gerrera was unwilling to work with Krieger, Rawl stated that technology would come on condition that he work with Krieger, warning him that he would go somewhere else if he did not comply. Which Gerrera doesn't trust Separatists because, the Separatists took over Onderon and, that's how all this crap started with him.
Yeah, and sorry. The Rebels and Separatists really didn't get along at first. Separatists were still holding a grudge, and the Rebels were, I guess, in the Separatist eyes, late to the party. It's like, we told you this would happen. Right. We told you this. Look what happened.
Yeah. So Gerrera insisted on working alone, but Rawl inserted that they would have a change, telling Gerrera that they needed to work together to bring down the Empire. Gerrera persisted by saying that he was not a mercenary, but Rawl asked him to imagine Spelharis in flames. After listening a number of fallen rebel alliances, Gerrera asked what Rawl was trying to accomplish. Rawl responded by saying that he was a coward and was terrified of the Empire's power would grow beyond their means to stop it. Which, fair.
Yeah, and I think Rawl here is trying to start the Rebel Alliance, as it were. Because individually, these Rebel cells are getting picked off one by one.
They're getting picked off one by one, and they're not coordinated at all.
No.
So then he carried on by saying that he needed to put aside their differences, but Gerrera countered by claiming that he was the only one with clarity of purpose. Laughing, Rawl stated that anarchy was a seductive concept for a man hiding in cold caves and begging for spare parts. Despite this, Gerrera refused to buy parts from Rawl, telling him to find someone else to help Krieger.
Yeah. This is just proving more madness for Gerrera.
Oh, yeah.
He's the only one with clarity. This whole madness.
Really? Are you, though? Are you? I don't know about that.
Clarity in a mud field.
You're right. So a little more than a month later, Gerrera had reconsidered his position and met with Rawl a second time to join Krieger's attack on the Spelharis power station. He told Rawl that he would provide Air's power, but aside from being told when it was needed, he would be taking no tactical orders from Krieger and that his terms were non-negotiable. With the attack just a day away, Rawl said he was too late.
Yeah, and I don't know what suddenly changed his mind for all this, but Gerrera, I don't know if you have it in the notes here, but he wanted like half the salvage or
he wanted like
whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
for just air support,
right. So since Gerrera would not back down so easily, Rawl reluctantly explained that the ISB had learned of the imminent attack and would be waiting for the rebels on arrival at Spelharis. Gerrera asked how Rawl knew that he would not warn Krieger, and to which Rawl replied that Gerrera was completely unpredictable. He continued by stating that the decision to warn Krieger was now Gerrera's, but to consider the repercussions of both outcomes.
Yeah, and Rawl here is willing to sacrifice Krieger here. to maintain his undercover agent at the ISB.
Right. So, deducing that Raul must have an informant in the ISB, Gerrera began looking around his HQ, wondering if a spy was among his own ranks. Raul said that Gerrera was avoiding the matter at hand, but Gerrera demanded to know who the spy was. Raul claimed Benthic was his man who told him everything, to which Benthic stepped forward in protest. Raul swiftly took Benthic's blaster from his holster and pointed at Gerrera to get him to listen. Because,
yeah.
Oh boy,
and Benthic
threats.
is Gerrera's second in command,
Mhm.
and probably the only person Saul
He actually
trusts
trusts.
at this point.
Right. And so Raul elaborated on how the ISB would become arrogant after Krieger's downfall, giving them a clear field to play. He commented the alternative would lead to doubt and distrust in the ISB, just as Gerrera is exhibiting now, confirming a final time that 31 men would be sacrificed for this. Gerrera decided against warning Krieger for the sake of the war.
I don't understand. I understand the ISB would become arrogant over this, but I don't understand how it would be a clear field to play.
Yeah,
I mean, it would give them one chance at a big operation, at best.
Right. So then in 3 BBY, Gerrera, shaving his head bald again, arranged for a bomb to detonate at the residence of Moff Quesh Panica. The bomb achieved its objective of killing the Moff, who was supposedly one of the Emperor's most loyal servants. The timing of the bomb narrowly missed killing Princess Leia Organa of Alderaan and Naboo's Queen Delaney, who had only just bid farewell to the Moff in his Charlat moments before the explosion, after discussing improving the working conditions of the miners on Onawam. So, Saul almost killed Princess Leia Organa, which would have been catastrophic.
Yeah, that would have shifted the entire outcome of the war.
Yeah, there would have been no war. There would have been no war. The Empire would have won, period.
I wonder if this takes place during the Princess Leia book.
It might. So, although no proof was ever given that Saul ordered the Moff's death, Leia's mother, Bria Organa, correctly surmised that the leader of the partisans, he must have been involved in some way, told Leia that she and her husband would be telling Saul how close he had come to murdering their daughter.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't care at this point.
Oh, hell no.
No, I mean, he had a chance to kill him off, and he's like, I'll take it.
Right.
I don't care about civilian casualties at this point.
So the assassination of Panica greatly upset the rest of the rebels, who became increasingly frustrated at trying to keep the partisans in line, as Panica was the highest-ranking member of the Emperor's inner circle that they had any hope of contacting someday and possibly even working with. With Saul's action, this was no longer a possibility. Nope.
So, like I said before, he's only seeing short-term goals and gains, not long-term.
Right.
And his group is refusing to become part of the alliance.
Yep. So Princess Leia also didn't approve of Panica's assassination, as she viewed him as a good man, though she initially allowed the partisans she saw on Unalam to escape imperial arrest, as she feared that her parents may have been involved in the assassination, an accusation that greatly angered and offended Bail Organa, because Bail wouldn't order an assassination.
No, but Leia doesn't know that. She's just starting to understand about the greater galaxy at this point.
Right.
Her parents are keeping her out of all these secret meetings to establish the Rebel Alliance, and she's going around trying to figure out what's going on.
Yes, true.
And she doesn't know what and what not her parents are capable of.
True, that's fair. And then, unbeknownst to Gerrera, his actions hasn't directly saved Leia and her adoptive family, as during Panica's meeting with her and Delaney, Leia was wearing the jubilation dress that was once worn by her biological mother, Padme Amidala, which caused Pananaka a great shock, and he managed to deduce Leia's heritage. Unknown to even the princess at the time, he had planned on telling Palpatine. However, his death prevented this.
Panaka. You've been
Panaka.
This is from episode 1. This was the guard for Queen Amidala.
Oh.
This was the guy. He and Amidala had differences after the occupation of Naboo. He wanted to be a bit more radical in the defense, while Amidala's like, we'll just set up an EMP blast. That'll be more than enough. Panaka wanted more.
The one... He's from episode 1?
He's from episode 1. The new security guard in episode 2 was his nephew, I think. But yeah, after the siege, he and Padme sort of parted ways over differences.
I remember him now.
He's more willing and open to Palpatine and his more militaristic style.
Right. So
yeah, he put the pieces together very quickly. It's like,
oh shoot, I know who your mother is. I need to tell Palpatine. We need to get rid of you.
You're telling me there's a survivor of the Skywalker bloodline?
Oh shoot. This is not good.
I can correct this one. But yeah, so in the end, Panaka's death was, in my opinion, necessary to protect Leia.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, that's what we have on part 2 of Gerrera's, history. So,
yeah,
there we go.
So yeah, this is pretty much full swing for Gerrera. His full madness, his paranoia, and I don't. He's also starting to lose limbs and starting to get severe injuries as well.
Right.
At this point, due to all the fighting he's been doing.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not a spring chicken like he used to be.
Yeah,
by all means.
So he's starting to become slower. He's not the same fighter he used to be. He's just got too many injuries at this point.
Right.
So
yeah, that's what we have. Any final thoughts on this part of Gerrera's story?
The galaxy seems hell-bent on destroying Saw Gerrera.
Oh yeah.
He could have been a good man.
I mean, let's be honest. The galaxy's been across, trying to take down anybody against the Empire, because during this time of the history of the galaxy, anybody against the Empire is not having a good time, at all.
He could have been a good man, but the galaxy wasn't having it.
No, he was meant to suffer, which is sad. But, yeah, that's what we have this week. So, everybody, thank you again for listening to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, and may the Force be with you.
To Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, you can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Shop up to 40% off with minimum purchase and a free professional measure right now at Blinds.com. Plus, pay at your own pace starting at 0% APR with Affirm. Terms apply.